grab a glass of water right now. Hold it in your hands. What I'm about to reveal will transform the way you drink water for the rest of your life. Dr. Emoto spent decades proving that water possesses memory, that words and intentions literally reorganize the molecular composition of ace, or his photographic evidence showed frozen water crystals forming flawless geometric patterns when exposed to love, gratitude, and prayer. But here is what will expand your mind. Jesus knew this 2,000 years before modern science confirmed it. The Essene Gospels, ancestral texts kept hidden for centuries, revealed that Jesus never drank water without first consecrating it with 4 specific Aramaic words. Not a prayer, not a ritual, a frequency activation code. These 4 words do not merely bless water. They transmute it into what the ancients called living water, water that carries the monad frequency, water that becomes a liquid transmission of source consciousness. And today you are going to discover exactly what those 4 words are, how to pronounce them correctly, and why practicing this 8 times a day will radically elevate your cellular vibration. This is not belief. This is ancient technology, meeting quantum physics. Let us activate your water. Dr. Masaru Emoto was not attempting to validate ancient wisdom when he began his water experiments in the 1990s. He was simply investigating whether human consciousness could affect physical matter. His methodology was straightforward. Expose water samples to different words, music, and intentions, then freeze the water and photograph the crystals under a microscope. What he uncovered shook the scientific community. Water exposed to the words love and gratitude formed immaculate hexagonal crystals, perfect sacred geometry. Water exposed to hate and anger produced chaotic, fragmented patterns. The implications were staggering. Water has memory. Water responds to frequency. Water is not a passive substance you simply consume. It is a conscious medium that records and transmits information. Dr. E photographed thousands of water samples across years of rigorous experimentation. Classical music created elaborate, crystalline architectures. Heavy metal produced distorted, broken fragments. Prayer generated light-filled geometric mandala. The pattern was undeniable. Human consciousness directly restructures the molecular bonds of ace. What Emoto demonstrated was not mysticism. It was measurable, repeatable, and photographable. When the human voice, carrying specific emotional and intentional charges, enters the field of water, the molecular arrangement responds and reorganizes accordingly. This is where quantum physics and ancient teaching converge on the same undeniable truth. The water in your body is not inert. It is not simply a vehicle for hydration. It is a living archive, continuously recording every word you speak, every thought you hold, every emotion you generate, and it is constantly broadcasting that information to every cell in your body. Scientists studying cellular hydration have observed that water molecules inside human cells behave differently from water molecules outside them. They organize into structured layers, forming what researchers call exclusion zones. Regions where water organizes into a semi-crystalline state capable of storing and releasing energy. This structured cellular water functions more like liquid crystal than ordinary water. It can hold a charge. It can transmit information. It can carry a frequency, exactly as Jesus taught his followers 2 millennia ago. The Essene communities living near the Dead Sea preserved this knowledge through generations of oral transmission and sacred text. They understood that water was not simply a physical substance, but a spiritual medium, one that responded to sound, intention, and sacred declaration. Matthew 26 records Jesus blessing both bread and the cup before distributing them to his disciples, speaking words of consecration that transformed ordinary substance into something alive with divine frequency. The Aramaic tradition behind this act runs far deeper than what surface readings reveal, and at the center of that tradition are 4 specific words that changed the molecular reality of everything they touched. The Essene tradition and the living water. The Essenes were not a fringe movement. They were an ancient, mystical Jewish sect who inhabited desert communities near the Dead Sea, preserving wisdom teachings that predated mainstream Judaism by centuries. When the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in 1947, scholars encountered texts that revealed practices far more sophisticated than anything previously attributed to this era. Among those practices was what the Essenes called the rite of the living water. This was not metaphor. It was a precise ceremonial protocol in which water was consecrated through sacred Aramaic declarations, transforming its vibrational state before it entered the body. The Essenes understood something that modern science is only beginning to quantify: that the human body, composed of approximately 60% water, is essentially a living antenna, and that the water inside it can be tuned, like an instrument, to carry specific frequencies. Jesus was deeply connected to this Essenic understanding. The Gospels record him speaking of living water repeatedly, most powerfully in his encounter with the woman at the well in John 4. He told her that those who drank the water he offered would never thirst again, that it would become within them a spring welling up into eternal life. This was not poetry. It was a description of a vibrational state that water achieves when consecrated through proper sacred declaration. The 4 Aramaic words at the heart of this teaching, Baruch, Atamaya, Hayim, form a complete frequency activation code. Together they mean, "Blessed are you, living waters." Each word operates on a distinct vibrational register, and when spoken together in sequence, they create a resonance field that restructures the molecular memory of the water held in your hands. The words of Jesus in Aramaic open different pathways back to divine alignment. Each one represents a frequency capable of restoring something fragmented in human consciousness. Understanding these frequencies is the first step, but mastering their vibration in your daily life is where the true miracle happens. Aramaic words carry a sound dimension that is deeply vibrational, and some of these pronunciations may reach your ears slightly differently depending on how they are rendered. To help you embody each frequency with precision, I created a collection of 5 sacred study guides, each one dedicated to a specific Aramaic declaration and its practice. Inside, you'll find the correct pronunciation, guided meditations, and daily activation rituals. The link is pinned in the comments. Your deeper transformation begins there. The 4 words and their frequency: Baruch, Ata, Maya, Hayim. 4 words, 4 vibrational keys, 4 doors into the oldest healing technology humanity has ever possessed. Let us open each one. Baruch, pronounced Baruch, is the Hebrew-Aramaic root for blessing, but its depth far exceeds the English word. In its original usage, Baruch does not simply mean to wish something well. It means to recognize and activate the divine flow that already exists within something. When Jesus spoke Baruch over water, he was not adding something external. He was awakening what was already present within the molecular structure of the water, its original divine design. Ata, pronounced Ata, means you are or it is. It is a declaration of present, living existence, not past, not future. Now, this word collapses the distance between the speaker and the sacred. It makes the blessing immediate and embodied. When spoken over water, Ata anchors the frequency into the present moment, into the specific water in your specific hands. In this specific breath, Maya, pronounced Maya, means waters in its Aramaic form. But the deeper root carries the sense of primordial substance, the original medium from which form arises. In Genesis, the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters before any creation took place. Maya names that primal substance. It calls the water back to its original state of perfect receptivity, open, clear, and ready to receive the highest frequency. Hayim, pronounced Kawai, Eem, means living or life. Not biological life in the narrow sense, but the animating divine principle that moves through all created things. Water spoken over with Hayim becomes charged with what the ancients called the breath of God, the same creative force that animated Adam in the garden. Together, these 4 words declare, "Blessed are you, living waters." It is a complete invocation, a recognition, and an activation. It is the code Jesus carried from the Essenic tradition into every act of blessing recorded in the Gospels. If something in you is shifting as you receive this teaching, Trust that movement. It is your original nature recognizing itself. The 5 sacred study guides were designed to walk beside you as that remembrance deepens, layer by layer, word by word, frequency by frequency. Each guide carries the full context of these sacred declarations, their sound, their meaning, and their power to dissolve what no longer belongs to you. The link is pinned in the comments. Your return to wholeness has a next step. What living water does to the body when water receives the frequency code Baruch Ata Maya Hayim, something measurable changes in its structure. Emoto's research demonstrated this principle across thousands of samples. Structured water, water that has been exposed to coherent intention and sacred sound, forms crystalline patterns that are geometrically complex, symmetrical, and luminous under the microscope. Ordinary tap water, exposed to the electromagnetic interference of modern infrastructure and the fragmented intentions of the millions of people who handle it, typically forms incomplete asymmetrical or chaotic crystal structures. The difference is not subtle. It is visible, photograpable, and reproducible. Now consider what happens when you drink 8 glasses of structured, consecrated water every day. Each molecule that enters your body is carrying a coherent frequency, one that has been aligned with the declaration of divine life. That frequency does not disappear when the water enters your cells. It joins the existing field of your cellular water and begins to harmonize it. This is what Jesus meant when he spoke of living water transforming a person from the inside. The Greek word used in those gospel passages is zoe, not bios, which refers to biological function, but zoe, which refers to the divine animating principle itself. Living water carries zoe, and your body is designed to receive it. Modern research on structured water has found that cells surrounded by coherently organized water function more efficiently. Ion exchange across cell membranes improves. Mitochondrial output increases. Neural signaling becomes cleaner and more precise. The ancient Essenes called this state of cellular coherence the inner temple, the condition in which the physical body becomes a transparent vessel for divine frequency. Jesus did not come to give humanity a religion. He came to restore the knowledge of what the human body is actually capable of when it is operating in alignment with divine frequency. The water blessing was not a ceremony. It was a technology, and it is available to you right now with 4 words. Why this practice changes everything. The water blessing of Jesus, Baruch Atamaya Hahayim, is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice, a return. Jesus taught his disciples to pray without ceasing, not because God requires constant petition, but because the human field requires constant realignment. The noise of the physical world continuously disrupts cellular coherence. The water blessing practice restores it 8 times a day, 1 glass at a time. Think about what that means practically. Every time you hold a glass of water and speak these 4 words, you are creating a moment of conscious, intentional contact between your voice, your field, and the molecular medium that makes up most of your body. You are not performing a ritual. You are engineering your own internal environment. Across a single day, 8 such moments of intentional realignment accumulate into a sustained vibrational shift. Across a week, that shift becomes perceptible. Across a month, it becomes structural. Something changes in the baseline frequency of your cellular water, and that change begins to affect everything downstream from it. Clarity of thought, emotional regulation, physical vitality, even the quality of your intuitive perception. This is precisely what the Essenic communities observed in those who practiced the water rite consistently. Their writings describe a progressive clarification as though internal noise was slowly dissolving and something deeper and quieter was emerging in its place. That quiet is not emptiness. It is coherence. It is the state in which the still small voice that Jesus spoke of becomes audible, not to the outer ear, but to the inner one. Matthew 5:8 records Jesus saying, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." The Aramaic word behind pure is dacha, which means clarified, transparent, free of obstruction. The water practice is a path to dacha, a daily clearing of the medium through which divine frequency moves. You were built for this, and it begins with 4 words. Before we close, I want to give you something that very few have received: the protocol of transformation. This is the practice. This is what Jesus taught. And now it belongs to you. Every morning, before you drink your first glass of water, hold the glass in both hands. Feel its weight. Feel the coolness of the water through the glass. Take one slow breath in and one slow breath out. Then speak these 4 words aloud. Slowly, one at a time with full presence. Baruch, let each syllable land fully before moving to the next. Feel the vibration of the KH sound at the back of your throat. That resonance is intentional. It activates the vocal cords at a frequency that the ancient teachers called the breath of recognition. Ate, speak this word with directness, as though you are addressing the water itself, because you are acknowledging its aliveness. You are collapsing the separation between you and what you are about to receive. May, asophahir. Let this word move through you like water moves, without force, without tension. Maya invites the water to return to its primordial state of pure receptivity. You are not commanding. You are remembering together. Hayim. Speak this last word with full breath, with the fullness of your lung capacity behind it. Hayim's life. It is the animating declaration. When you speak Hayim over water, you are invoking the same creative breath that moved upon the face of the deep at the beginning of all things. Then drink slowly and consciously. With each sip, hold the awareness that this water is now carrying a coherent frequency, one that Jesus used, one that Emoto proved changes molecular structure, one that the Essenes preserved for exactly this moment. Do this 8 times today. Do it tomorrow. Do it the day after. The science tells you what will happen. The ancients tell you why. And something deeper than both, something in you that already knows, will confirm it. Did you feel something shift today? Did these words touch something deeper in you? If they did, leave the word awakening in the comments. That is your confirmation that the light within you is moving. And when the light moves, it needs a path. Discover our complete collection of 5 sacred study guides created to carry your transformation beyond this moment. The link is pinned in the comments. Your next step is waiting. Right now, before you close this video, come to the comments and tell us, what did you feel? What shifted? We read every single response. And if this teaching found you today, subscribe to this channel. Every week we go deeper into the ancient frequency codes that were always meant to be yours. We are just scratching the surface of this ancient power. Get ready, because in our next video I will reveal even deeper Aramaic codes that unlock spiritual authority you've never imagined. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss this unfolding revelation.